A major air disaster in Sioux City, a United Airlines DC-10 with about 292 people on board crashed just short of the Sioux Gateway Airport at 4 o'clock this afternoon. The plane had lost all hydraulic pressure, we're told, and was trying to make an emergency landing at the Sioux Gateway when it crashed.
UA232 heavy, roger, sir. Yeah, that's a closed runway. That'll work, sir. We're getting the equipment off the runway, and they'll line up for that one. How long is it? 6,600 feet, 6,600, and the equipment's coming off. Isolate this.
On July 19th, 1989, United Flight 232, a DC-10, was en route from Denver to Chicago and had made an emergency crash landing in Sioux City, Iowa. There were 297 people on board. 184 people lived, 113 people died, and of the 184 that lived, 13 people walked away without a scratch, without a smudge, without any type of injury. I was one of those 13 people. The plane itself was completely full. It was summertime. It was family month, I think, or whatever they called it for United Airlines, so there were a lot of children on the plane. A DC-10 has 2 seats, an aisle, 5 seats, an aisle, and 2 seats. As I mentioned, every seat was taken. Every jump seat, which are those seats that fold out, crew trying to get back, just completely full. And when we were 40 minutes away from landing in Chicago, there was a huge explosion. I mean, it sounded like a bomb. And at that time, in fact, it was before the first Persian Gulf War, and there was a lot of tension in the Middle East. So I definitely thought it was a bomb, and it came from the back and the tail section. And what that was, it was the tail engine exploding. And when the tail engine exploded, shrapnel from that fan disc severed the hydraulic lines, and the plane, the pilot lost all control of the plane. The hydraulics control everything on a plane. The rudder, the ailerons, the flaps, all the different things that a pilot does is controlled by hydraulics. The good news is there's a secondary hydraulic system and even a tertiary hydraulic system. The bad news is that piece of shrapnel cut all 3 hydraulic systems at the same time. So essentially what you had was a DC-10 loaded with people, 30,000 feet, 600 or 700 miles an hour, and the only thing that the pilots had left to control the plane was gravity and the thrust of the 2 engines. You know, when you bend over and grab your ankles at 30,000 feet, you become acutely aware of what's important and what's not. And I remember this drive or this need to figure that out. I mean, it didn't cause me to have nightmares or depression, but I really felt like I needed to know in my life what was important and what wasn't.